Am I wrong for running away to give birth? I, 23 female, and my husband, 25 male, have been together for 4 years, married for 2 hours, and we were expecting our first child. My relationship with my mother-in-law was never amazing, but before this she always kept to herself, and so did I. And for the record, my relationship with my husband's father and brother was always really good. When I got pregnant, I told my husband that I wanted to keep it a secret for at least the 3-month mark, because my own mother miscarried 5 times in between me and my younger siblings, so I thought that this fact could affect me and my pregnancy. And because I remember the heartbreak of my mom losing all those babies, I didn't want our families to feel it. He totally agreed and even said it would be our cool little secret. 2 days after I told him, I got a text from my mother-in-law saying that she knew it was a girl and that it was selfish of me to keep the news of her baby girl away from her and her family. Just for the record, I was around 4 weeks pregnant at that point, so I had no idea about the sex myself, so IDK where that came from. I confronted my husband, to what he replied, "You were not expecting me to hide this from my mom, right? She deserves to know. It's my child too." I was furious and didn't talk with him for around a week after this. Needless to say that in the week after this incident, everyone already knew I was pregnant, and people were even mad at me for wanting privacy on this. Then, the harassment from my mother-in-law started. At around 4 months, me and my husband went to visit my family and left my mother-in-law responsible for watering the plants. When we came back, a whole nursery was made, all pink with the name Olga Bertha painted on the wall. Keep in mind that I had no idea about the gender still. And OFC, this was an extreme privacy violation. I had a harsh conversation with her. She cried, and my husband then has mad because I was mean to his mom. But this was just the beginning of the harassment. She was sending me articles every day about the bad effects of working out during pregnancy, criticizing what I had for each meal. Started crying because I want to exclusively breastfeed. She literally said, "Feeding my baby is a critical bonding moment, you're stealing that from me." For not wanting visitors for 1 month, and then the delivery room. To sum it up, she wanted to be there. I said no. I only wanted my husband there. She seemed a little hurt but never talked about that again. Until my husband was showering and a message from her popped up. We had a lunch date on that day, so I assumed it was the location and opened it, just to find hundreds of messages of their plan on how she would get in the delivery room when I was too tired to argue to see her baby being born. I cried a lot when I was alone, not going to lie to you guys. But then I made peace with it. On that Monday, I told him I was going to spend some days with my parents, and if something happened, I would tell him. I drove from North Carolina to Florida, where my family is, got into labor, gave birth with my mom and my 2 sisters in the room to a healthy baby boy, without my husband's knowledge, now to the present. My son is now 2 weeks old, and I finally told my husband what I did. He is driving down here and yelled at me for giving birth without telling him, and for not including him on the birth certificate or name choice, and keeps saying that he and his mom will sue me. Am I wrong for running away to give birth? Edit. It seems to be a lot of comments about the name in the nursery. Olga Bertha was no way was written, but close enough. Olga is the fake version of my mother-in-law name, and Bertha of my mother-in-law mother about the 2 weeks of not telling him. We were not on good terms, just texting, so it was not hard to hide, honestly. Edit 2. For the ones criticizing my spelling and punctuation, I'm sorry if it's not up to your expectations, but it's the best I can do as a first-time mom that is sleep-deprived and gave birth 2 weeks ago. Thank you for your understanding. Update 3 days later. Hey guys, first of all, thank you all so much for the messages. Some people asked for an update, and I'm here for it. The last 48H were the most insane I've ever had, honestly. So to go back where we left off, my husband arrived yesterday afternoon. Can you guess who also came? Yeah, his mom. Nothing I was already expecting. But it's always surprising, I guess, when he car pulled up. My mother-in-law was the first to come out. They both got in. My child was in my old bedroom, in my parents' house, with my sister and mother. And in the living room, my brother's dad, me, and them. The first thing that came out of her mouth was, "Quit the bullshit, my baby is a girl, right?" I said that my baby is a male. My family confirmed. My Miles' face completely changed. She started crying, saying that this one was meant to be a girl, and if she knew I would give her another boy, she wouldn't have been so nice to me. For context, my husband has 1 brother only, and he is already done having kids. He has 3 boys. I told her to go fuck herself. This child is mine, not hers, and I surely didn't have a baby so she could fulfill her wired desires. She was about to raise her voice. But my brother stopped her and told her that it wouldn't be accepted in this house and asked her to leave and wait for my husband in the car. Yes, after she found out the gender, she didn't even ask to see him. She left giving my dirty looks, but left my husband looked at me and asked me how could I rob this moment from him. As you can imagine, I replied with the plan they had. He turned pale, and then I think it all clicked together in his little brain. He started apologizing and saying that it was just to shush his mom, and that he would never actually do it. But after being pressured, his speech changed to, "But I'm also going through a lot in the delivery room. I need support." My whole family started laughing in his face. He got angry and demanded to know my son's name and see him. I told him the name and allowed him to see I'm from afar. He asked to hold him and I declined. After this, I talked alone with him and told him that I wanted a divorce. He cried, pleaded, and asked for another chance. I told him my decision was final and that he didn't have to financially support my child, but that our marriage was over. I asked him to come around the next day so we can discuss this better. Then he came. His eyes were puffy, I'm guessing from crying, and he and his mom came here, looked at my husband and said, out loud, that he should give me the divorce and forget about this kid since it was a boy. He should find a woman that would give him a girl. Finally, I saw that dude get a little of a backbone, and he told her to get out, that she already ruined this enough. She yelled as expected and left. He cried and told me finally understood the kind of harm his mom was making to our family, and told me that if I needed him to go NC with her to save our marriage, he would. I told him that I needed time to think, and told him to give me some days. He is returning to NC, and I'm about a week he will come down again so we can talk. Now I know what he did was horrible, but being a single mom at 23 is not ideal, and whether I like it or not, I still feel something for this man. Any opinions and recommendations are welcome. What do you guys think? Let's discuss in the comments. Follow and like for more stories.